guys, this video is going to be a book review of The Rithmatist by Brandon Sanderson, the author of the Mistborn series, and by and large, the rest of the Cosmere as well. Reviews for the Mistborn books that I've reviewed are here. Brandon Sanderson has, of late, been one of my favourite authors, and to be honest, it's all I can do to keep myself from squealing through this review. The Rithmatist is set in an alternative version of our own planet Earth, thus making it separate from the Cosmere that Brandon Sanderson is best known for. The Earth in the books features the North American Isles, the United Isles, instead of the American continent as we know it. In Nebraska, the world's version of Nebraska, there is a tower. The tower is home to the wild chalklings, two-dimensional creatures that look like living chalk drawings, but can interact with the rest of the world. The creatures would have overrun everything around 300 plus years ago when the first European settlers arrived, if not for the intervention of the Rithmatists. Rithmatists are people who have the ability to use chalk lines to create their own chalklings and to protect themselves against the wild chalklings. Nowadays, Rithmatists have to study at special schools scattered throughout the United Isles to learn how to actually use their rhythmatic powers, and then they have to spend 10 years defending the rest of the United Isles from the wild chalklings in Nebraska. Joel wants to be a rhythmatist, except he cannot possibly become one because he's already too old. However, Joel has a very good grasp of rhythmatic theory and wants to study more. However, just as he is working up the courage to actually ask to study the rhythmatic theory with one of the actual professors, mysterious murders and disappearances of Rithmatist students begin to happen. Joel takes the opportunity to become the assistant to Professor Fitch, the rhythmatic professor who's investigating the murders. Together with remedial Rithmatist student Melody, they do a lot to help the investigation. But how will the mystery actually unfold? I really enjoyed this book. It was proof of why Brandon Sanderson is actually one of my favourite authors now. The world building was excellent, giving good explanations to why things were the way they are, and also giving us mysteries to wonder about, and for the characters to actually solve. The world felt vibrant and interesting, and very different from our own. I really liked the characterisation of both Melody and Joel, who both were suffering under the present system, and did not let that shit get them down and keep them from actually getting on with what they needed to do. In Joel's case, he wanted to study rhythmatics despite not being a rhythmatist, and Melody wanted to get involved in the actual solving of the murders despite being rebuffed every single time that she tried to get involved. I also really liked finding out all about the rules regarding rhythmatics, which was a very different magic system than any of the other ones that I've encountered Brandon Sanderson writing. I mean, they involve like circles and lines to protect yourself and creating and summoning little creatures to defend you as well. I felt that rhythmatics was a very interesting and different system than anything else that Brandon Sanderson's actually done, because it's all about protection and summoning little creatures to protect you, whereas the allomantic abilities and ferrochemical abilities in the Mistborn series were all about augmenting yourself and becoming stronger or moving things around with yourself, with your mind and things. So it was very different, and I think it's given Brandon Sanderson a chance to play around a bit more and have some fun. I also really liked the atmosphere of the book, because there were several times during the book that I felt genuinely freaked out, because there's actual moments where you actually worry there's going to be chalk drawings attacking me in my sleep. And the book actually brings that fear to life a little bit. So I was genuinely worried about that sometimes during that book. It was really good. There was one thing that I felt was a little bit off, however, which was that Joel didn't really have any authority, and yet he was still ordering folk around to send messages for him and everything. And I think that this is probably just a holdover from the fact that in the Mistborn series and the other books that Brandon Sanderson wrote, he generally has his characters in positions of authority in some form or another, and so it kind of felt a little bit odd for a boy with no authority to be going around just giving orders like that. But like I said, I think it's a holdover. He's a bit too used to writing characters in positions of authority. Other than that one small problem, I really, really enjoyed the book. It had a brilliant world, a brilliant magic system, and really interesting characters, and I'm now waiting for Sanderson to actually bring out the next book, The Astlanian, I believe it's called, so that I can find out what happens next. The comment question for this video is, what sort of chalkling would you actually specialise in if you were in the world? I personally would probably do a lot more dragons and knights and everything, much like the standard in the book, but, you know, Melody does unicorns all the time, so it would be interesting to see what that would be like. I'd love to know your thoughts, so let me know down below.
I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you remember to like and share it and subscribe to my channel. Click on the thumbnails above to see other videos by me, including my review of How to Build a Girl by Caitlin Moran and my unboxing video of February's Loot Crate with the theme of Dead. Bye.